right, everybody, let's see if we can get this thing to rotate now. Well, when did that happen on Facebook? All right, let me reset this. I've always done this sideways. Let me see if I can get this little tripod to work this way. Give me 1 second here. Wow. Even the tripod that I have here is only set to go sideways, so that's going to make it fun. Well, life's full of challenges. Let's figure this out. See if I can make this work a little different. So just bear with me for a second. That's not great. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 more second here, guys. Gonna get real creative. And hope this works. Yeah, it's funny. I've done these live a lot of times and never had a problem with my phone not wanting to rotate. Let me see if I can do this. Here, we're going to be fine right like this. I think I could push a button and make it rotate, but I want to get going here. So, let's see if that works. Gotta love changing technology. All right, look at that. Adapt, right? Okay, perfect. Well, welcome out to Wednesday Workshop. January 16, 2019. 2019! Are you kidding me? It's already here. I'm still trying to recover from Y2K and 2019 sneaks up on me. That's awesome. All right. Let's see if we can make this happen. You know, I am so excited. There is so much value in this USANA United Facebook page. I was just going through, obviously, yesterday we heard from Penny Kirk on sharing belief. Loved her call to action. Thank you so much, Penny. I've been doing this for over 20 years. And I wrote down your call to action, the kind of the closing question that you asked somebody. And I posted it right here so when I'm talking to somebody, I can start training myself to this new lingo. I loved it. The question was, is there anything else you need to know before you get started? It's kind of a closing topic. So thank you for that, Penny. Also on Monday, we heard from Karen Wolf, the importance of Monday mindset. And Karen taught us how to love Mondays, which is so important to get your week started off right. Love it. Thank you, Karen. I was even going through and stumbled onto an old Jared Krebs post from back on October 10th, his 15-minute social media DMO, daily method of operation. I love, he just shared exactly what he does every day on social media. And he's in the trenches. He's making it happen. He's out there living it every single day. And he is just absolutely on fire. So thank you, Jared. But that's the bottom line, is there's just a ton of value on this Facebook page. So make sure you get your whole team plugged in and get them the same value that you're getting from this Facebook page. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is value. In fact, I want to talk about price versus value. And welcome, everybody. Welcome, Joe. I saw Dan Bazan, saw Terry Belleville, several others getting on here. I'm going to give you a special incentive for those that are tuning in live. So before I get going into the stuff that I want to cover, I want to tell you a little bit about today's drawing. I'm going to give away a case of Rev 3, delicious cold Rev 3. If you live somewhere where it's cold, it'll be sitting on your front porch, so it will be ice cold Rev 3 when you get home. If not, you'll have to take care of the cold part for on your own. But this is for participants who are live, because after all, this is a workshop, right? And so, and I didn't say attendees, by the way, I said participants. So we're going to workshop some stuff together. I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to be looking for your input. We want you to add value to the other people who are participating and logging in and watching this on a recorded level, or even that are watching it live right now. So those people who add value and offer up comments, valuable comments, good suggestions when I ask for them, a couple times throughout today's workshop. We're going to put you into a drawing at the end of this live. I'm going to go through and look at the comments to see who actually added value. I'm going to put all those names into a drawing, and we're going to do a drawing real quick here, and I'll have USANA ship you off a case of Cold Rev 3. So let's get started with it. Value, if you look at like the definition of value, it's the amount of money expected or required or given in payment for something. Sorry, that's price. Price is the amount of money expected, required, or given in payment for something. Value, on the other hand, is a noun, as we're going to talk about today, is the regard that something is held to deserve. The importance, worth, or usefulness of something. That's value. All too often, we talk, if we don't know, we don't have marketing skills, we haven't been trained in marketing. A lot of time we're talking to prospective customers or associates. We talk a lot about price. They'll ask us how much something is, and we talk about price. Instead, we need to talk a lot about value. After all, everything in life is too expensive at any price until you know its true value. Doesn't matter if it's $10, $10,000, or $10 million. Everything is overpriced, is expensive if you don't first know the value. That's why some vehicles are 30 grand and some are over $1 million. There's a different value. That's why, and here's the first question, by the way. Let's workshop this. We're going to get right into the workshop right now. But why would one of your prospective customers pay $53 for a set of Cellsentials when they can simply go buy Centrum for $20? So go ahead and start putting in why your prospective customers, comment on this, should pay 2.5 times the price for a set of Cellsentials when they can just go, if they're looking at price alone, they can just go out and buy Centrum for $20. So go ahead and start putting those comments in here. Give you a minute to do that. Work on my little tape tripod before it falls down. I know, I see the button now I could have pushed to make this turn. It used to auto-rotate for me when I do a live. I turn my phone, I think, no, that would just turn it around actually. So anyway, we fixed it, but I'm gonna just try to reinforce it a little bit so it doesn't fall. It's not looking too stable. You can tell when someone, whoop, quiet mode's turned on. Just check, can you still hear me? Make sure I didn't turn on something wrong. All right, start typing in your comments. Why would one of your prospective customers pay $53 for a set of Cellsentials when they could buy Centrum for $20? That's what I want to hear from you right now. And we're going to do a couple different questions. They'll overlap with each other. Type them in as you have input that you can share with the group. But I'm going to throw a few of those out to you real quick. I'm going to help you out. So first of all, pharmaceutical grade products that are listed in the physician's desk reference, the PDR for crying out loud. They're optimum levels of nutrients versus minimum RDA levels of nutrients. Patented cell signaling technology not found anywhere else. The highest rated supplement available in the Comparative Guide to Nutritional Supplements, which ranks the top 1,600 selling nutritional products available throughout North America. Best of state in Utah, and that's a big deal not only if you're in Utah, but that's where most of your competition when it comes to direct sales are located in Utah, and best of state for several years when it comes to nutritional supplements. And of course, the whole Dr. Wentz story, PhD in microbiology, immunology, Go Labs, that whole story there. There's so many reasons why USANA's products are worth it, because the value but you have to assign the value first before you can talk a lot about price. So cover the value first. One thing that you need to know to effectively talk about value or to increase value is the difference between features and benefits. And I learned this early on in my old retail days before I got involved with USANA 25 years ago or so. But learned a lot about features and benefits. So did a little research on this, and entrepreneur.com says a feature is a factual statement about the product or service being promoted. But features aren't what entice customers to buy. That's where benefits come in. A benefit answers the question, what's in it for me? meaning the feature provides the customer with something of value to them. So again, that's real important to know. A lot of times in our presentations, we talk about features instead of benefits. And so here's a good example. I'm going to give you a feature, and then I want you to start typing in benefits. I want to make sure, can somebody just reply, make sure you're all still hearing me okay, that I didn't do something to make this quiet. All of a sudden I don't see the comments, so I wonder if I pushed a button and turned that off. Anyway, I'll go through all the comments anyway at the end. You guys will hopefully all see the comments, but man, if I pushed a button and messed that up, that's going to mess with my workshop. Let me let me push on a couple other buttons down here and see how that goes. That was not a good idea. Okay. All right. Well, I think the comments, you can still do it. I just don't think I can see them. So hopefully you can all see them. But here's the feature: pharmaceutical grade versus food grade. So a lot of times, again, in our presentation, we would tell somebody about our Cellsentials that they are pharmaceutical grade instead of food grade. So you got to explain that in your presentation, but then you got to follow it up with the benefit when you're talking to them. So what would be in it for them? What would the benefit of being pharmaceutical grade versus food grade be when it comes to talking about our Cellsentials? What would the benefit of that be? So I'm going to share with you real quick. I would say you get what you pay for. So I'd say you get what you pay for. What's on the label is in every tablet, and the tablets will actually break down and go to work in your body instead of simply passing through. So that's kind of how I would explain the benefit to a prospective customer about the feature of pharmaceutical grade versus food grade. The next feature I would talk about is maybe optimum levels of ingredients versus RDA levels. So what would the benefit of that feature be? If I told you that these have optimum levels of ingredients versus RDA levels, type in what you think would be the benefit to that. All right, I'm sorry I can't see your comments. I must have pushed up when I was fixing my little tripod tape deal. Okay, so what I would say is something as far as a benefit when I was talking about optimum levels of ingredients versus RDA levels, I would say they provide your body's cells, provide your body's cells with the higher dosages of essential nutrients needed to strengthen your immune system and battle the oxidation and damage of today's stressful and toxic environment. So again, that would be more of the benefit to that feature. Now the next feature I would maybe talk about is patent-pending intelligence technology. Now what does that mean to a prospect, right? We got to explain that. We got to break that down a little bit. It's exciting to talk about. It's important. It's a breakthrough technology, but what's in it for them? So the way I would, and go ahead, type it in. Anything you can add to whatever I'm talking about so that other people who are watching this can get more than just my input. That's what it's all about with the workshop, getting everybody's input. So if I was talking about the patent-pending intelligence technology, I would say that's designed to, we all remember this from the convention, hopefully, when they launched this, the NPR, which is Nourish, Protect, and Renew. So I would use that. I would just say these are designed to nourish, protect, and renew your body's cells to help you maintain optimal health. Something again like that. Again, what's in it for them? The next feature would be something a lot of times we talk about is the athlete guarantee. So we might say something like, there's over 2,000 world-class professional elite athletes that trust their health to USANA and the $1 million athlete guarantee. So what would be the benefit to your prospective customer or associate after you explain that to them? What's in it for them? Something that I would follow up with maybe is, if they can trust their health to USANA, so can you. If these people who rely on their health for their livelihood, and they have to trust that it's clean, and they have to trust that it's potent, and they have to be healthy all the time, and they have to recover from workouts, then certainly if they can do it, so can you. So those are just a couple of my suggestions, kind of at a workshop level, talking about features versus benefits to help increase the value of something instead of focus on that price. So you can do this with any of USANA's wonderful product lines, from the nutritionals, the skincare, the foods, the Rev3, you name it, you can do this, and you should practice and work through this and figure it out and be prepared to talk about value on all of these different products that you're going to be presenting from time to time. Let's talk a little bit about the business side of things. Currently the most expensive enrollment option that we have at USANA is a 500 sales volume point custom order. They do a 500 point custom order, and they order a welcome kit. And if you were to work that out, it's going to cost them about $800 to $900, depending on their tax and shipping and what products they order, but somewhere in the range of $800 to $900. Now, $800 to $900 is expensive for an order of vitamins and health and vitamins, I say, because I don't use the term vitamins. We talk more about, again, pharmaceutical grade and wellness products, a whole system when we talk about the products. But if I'm talking to you about doing an order and it's $800 to $900, and I'm talking about it being a box of vitamins and some health products, then that is expensive. That sounds very, very expensive. I would agree with that. So we, again, have to assign it value. On the product side, we already did it. Again, pharmaceutical grade, listed in a physician's desk reference, optimum levels of nutrition versus RDA minimal levels, patent pending intelligence, cell signaling technology not found anywhere else, the highest rated products available from the Comparative Guide to Nutritional Supplements that ranks the top 1,600 selling nutritional products available throughout North America. Over 2,000 world-class athletes that are using these products with our $1 million athlete guarantee. Best of state in Utah, where all these products are sold. And the Dr. Wentz story, don't even get me going on that, with the PhD in microbiology and immunology and Gold Labs and all those great things. So again, we've already probably covered that, but if you need to do it there, you talk about the value there when you're talking about the products. Obviously, you probably have done that in the presentation process. Now, again, shifting it to the business side of things, if I'm talking about starting a business, and I'm talking, see, here's the way I would sell this as a business. It's a multi-million-dollar international business. You have the chance, this is the chance to help you retire years, possibly decades earlier than the path that you're currently on, maybe with corporate America. The time and financial freedom to go do the things that you want to do with the people that you love and care about, now and in the future. The ability to work from home, having time with your kids, catching all those precious moments instead of sticking your kids in daycare and going and working a job and having all the expenses of that and missing out on those precious moments of their life. Building a legacy that will take care of your loved ones long after you're gone. So when you talk about this business in those words, you see the value of it. Quite frankly, I think the biggest problem that we have with our business model is that people don't have enough value on the business because the cost is so low to start a business. I've been looking at things, diversifying, looking into different businesses. We just got done doing a big tour of all 48 states in our motorhome for a year as a family, having these precious moments, having the time and financial freedom because somebody shared the value with us almost 20 years ago. We have the time and freedom to do that. I was able to retire in my mid-30s because of the value of this business. I was able to walk away from corporate America and get rid of an 80-hour-week job where I was still broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and moving to whatever state that company moved me to instead of picking where I want to go. Guess what the problem with touring 48 states is? Now we get to decide where we want to live, and we know all these different states, and so we just spent a month in Montana after our trip looking at land out there. And one of the things I've always wanted to do, I'd love to help people have a great time. I love the idea of opening an RV resort and having bands and special events on every night of the week, and being by a national park and offering fly or guided fishing trips or other real fun stuff. I've always loved that idea. So I went and went through that whole process, and it was like $7.5 million is what it would cost me to open up an RV park. To buy land that's cheap, quite frankly, out there compared to land in Utah, and to get the infrastructure, stuff underground, burying pipes and wires and things like that. It'd be a really nice place, but I'm just telling you, I didn't think it'd be anything like $7.5 million. That's expensive to start a conventional business. But guess what? If I did that, I would understand the value of that. A USANA business is so inexpensive. People buy a couple $100s of the products that they get to consume, and they just don't have the value in it. Whether it's a prospect looking at it or a new person who's starting, and they spent maybe $500, $600, $800, $1,000, whatever, 4 or 5 months ago, and then they've run into some rejection or they've had a hard time or they've had a hard time getting rid of some of their time wasters. They go home when they're tired from work and turn on the TV instead of being disciplined, like Jared Krebs, with a daily method of operation and doing the right things today to have the lifestyle they could have down the road. It was the value that was transferred to me early on in this business that made me put that in for the first year. When I had an 80-hour week job, when I didn't take any vacations, I didn't take any time off, I didn't take my wife, now girlfriend at the time, fiance at the time, out on dates. She thought I was cheap. I was just focused on our future because of the value that I saw this business could provide me if I did the right things and made the sacrifices in the early days. So I want to encourage you to do that, to understand the value of this. Now, everybody has different goals. You may not be looking for $1 million business. You may not be looking to fire your boss or do something full time. You might be just looking to supplement your income or have another nest egg for retirement or diversify or whatever. And that's fantastic. Follow your goals and your dreams. Don't let anybody get you off track or push you into something you're not looking to do. But you have to have the value of what this business can offer before you're going to make the sacrifice to do the right things. And if you don't have that value, you can't transfer that value to somebody else. So you personally have to have that value if you want to be able to share this with somebody else. So again, hopefully I can see or we'll get your comments. If you have some questions and stuff, I'll try to go back afterwards and look at the replay and respond to those, since I pushed a button and turned off my comments, I think. But make sure that you keep answering any questions I ask you if you want to be in that drawing. So, what are some of the other values of the current 500 sales volume point custom order that somebody would use to start a 3 business center? Now I want you to type in what you would tell them. What are the values of starting with that pack? Why would they do that versus a 1 business center or versus 400 point 3 business center? Type those in. Let's see what you can contribute. What kind of value you can add to the other viewers. What kind of value you would add to your prospective business builders and customers that you're having this conversation with. I'm going to give you some right now. This locks you in. If I was talking to you about the 500.3 Business Center, I would tell you this locks you in with the 3BC, which maximizes your earning potential with your USANA business. Very important that we lock you in with that 3 Business Center. A custom order lets you get exactly what you want and you need. And I may be walking through the health assessment if I needed to. It gives you more products to try out and become familiar with. Obviously, it's very tough to recommend something you don't believe in, and it's pretty much impossible to believe in something if you haven't tried it. So this gives you the opportunity to use a lot more products and try those out so that you can share your personal USANA story as well. It possibly even gives you some extra products that you can sample to others who are close to you that could be potential customers down the road. It gives you a full year of USANA's online business accelerator suite for free. That's $20 a month. That's going to save you $260 versus buying it separate. Value. Gives you one US National Celebration Pass. This is like our US convention. It's very specific to our market. And the registration prices are anywhere usually between like $70 and $100. It's going to save you like up to $100. And it's also going to give you one international convention pass. This is our most important event of the entire year. All the top movers and shakers from the company, from the field side, the top incomers in the company, the top people from corporate, where you're going to hear the updates from the company, new product announcements maybe, new international markets maybe, all the latest business building trends and the things that you're going to need to learn to be successful in this business. Registration for that is somewhere between $250 to $500, depending on when you register. So this could save you up to $500. That's a total savings of those 3 free things that you get with this 500.3 Business Center of $860, which a 3 Business Center is about $860. So it's like getting 50% off your entire package by joining with this pack. You understand the value I'm creating with that? And here's the other thing that I see happen all the time. People will get like a welcome kit, and they'll go, and you buy this $29 welcome kit, and you do your order. It's not how I do it. I talk about the welcome kit. Have you been through this, baby? I mean, this has a letter from our CEO, Kevin Guest. It has resource guides. It has policies, procedures, product information, price list, a DVD from Jim Rohn, presentation booklets, notepad and pen. What's down here? More information on learning about the products and sharing with other people. A whole bunch of logo merchandising, gear, a shaker bottle, a pill box, all the things. What a deal, man. 30 bucks, are you kidding me? So that's how I'm going to go through it, but I don't have it in front of me when I do that. So I'm going to let them know that this $29 market or welcome kit gives you critical training on the company and the products. It gives you marketing tools, a letter from our CEO, Kevin Guest, and some great USANA branded logo gear to help you get your new business off the ground, help start marketing it right away. So you've got to show the value. Otherwise, it's just a $30 fee. That's like joining Costco. It's a fee. No, there's value here in this box, folks. So you've got to be able to talk about that value when you're sharing the welcome kit and you're talking about why they're paying 30 bucks for this thing. All right. So if somebody tells you that they think starting a USANA business at any level is too expensive, that just means that you haven't shared the true value with them. You haven't transferred the value that you know about USANA, about the products, about the business, about the company. You haven't transferred that effectively to them. And that's what our job is. So again, it all depends on how you transfer that value and they understand that value. If you think about this for a second, the average American, we all know, I mean, we're all fall into this category. We all know people like this. If our car broke down today, if my car broke down and I was struggling a little bit financially, I'd figure it out. Now that's an expense. It's also a needed expense. I need my car maybe to get to work or whatever. But if you talk about this business like an expense, why would I do it? I'm already doing this because when I started USANA, I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have any time. I didn't have any money. But they overcame these objections because they increased the value. I started my USANA business not because I was in a great situation, but because I wanted out of that situation. So most people who join our business who are hungry are not in a great financial situation. But I valued it more because it hurt for me to get involved. It cost me more to get involved. So if my car broke down when I had a job, I'd figure out a way to fix it. If I wanted a weekend getaway with my spouse, I'd figure it out and get away. If I felt like we needed to get away, we needed some time. If the average American's TV broke today, they'd have a new TV in their house tonight or tomorrow because they value it. It all depends on what they value. And again, your job is simply to transfer the value that you have for USANA to them. Now here's another one that I think is really important. And I'm going to ask you another question. I want you to start typing in your responses. So don't just rely on USANA to provide value. What can you do? What can you do to add value to your customers and your team members? So on the health side of things, let's focus on the health side of things for a minute. What can you personally do to add value to your team, to your customers, to your prospective customers about the health side and why they should be a customer of yours from USANA? Start typing those in. All right, keep typing. I'm trusting they're going in there. I can't see them, but I'll get back and look at the replay and respond to all your great input. But here's some things that I've seen or that I've done. They could have a free subscription. Brian Bulkey's a master at this, and his team. They do a lot of great stuff with a free subscription to their team's blog or Facebook page. They provide value on staying healthy, maybe an emailing list, however you communicate, whether it's something you're putting together or somebody in your upline or your team or your mentors putting together, or even something totally third party that you can provide value to them. You give them a free subscription to that. You can offer them great customer service. Rachel and Brad Homer do a fantastic job of this on my team. They do this. It's not like a salesy thing, but they check in with their customers and they provide value. They give them samples. They let them know about events that are coming up. We've got New Year, New You that we're doing out here tomorrow night in Salt Lake City. I talked Dr. Brian Dixon into participating. There's a lot of value in coming and hearing from a doctor from USANA. And they're going to hear the value about that. They're going to be able to answer questions and have all these things from Brian Dixon. So a lot of value there. And she's done a great job. She put a challenge out to her team. She said they're bringing 10 guests personally, and they put a challenge out to their team to bring 1, 3, or 5 guests and then did a giveaway and called me up and asked me if I would do some stuff to provide value for those prizes, and we're going to do that. So Rachel and Brad, you guys are great example on doing that. But again, you can have subscriptions. You can provide great customer service, checking in with them from time to time. You can call them and let them know if you saw that their auto order didn't go. You should be checking unprocessed auto orders with a gap report on the hub and calling people in your project legs. Hopefully you've trained your leaders to do that in other legs of your business. But if we all have project legs, that we're the person that would call them. So you can drastically increase your check, one thing. But most importantly, you got to make sure that your customers stay on the products. If they don't stay on the products, they're not going to get the results. And if they miss an auto order, they might miss another one. It's harder to get them back. So when you see somebody's auto order didn't go through, you can call up USANA, give USANA their ID number, and you can just say, can you try processing this auto order again? And if it doesn't go through, you can ask them why, or you don't even need to ask them why. What I would do is I would call that customer, and I would just say, hey, look, I would just notice I just got a notification that your auto order didn't go through for some reason. I want to help you get that fixed so you can get your products on time. Let me three-way over to USANA real quick and let's find out what happened. I three-way over to USANA. I'm not going to tell them to call USANA. I three-way over to USANA and say, hey, Mr. Customer Service Rep, I have valued customer so-and-so here. Been a customer of mine for a year or two or whatever, and I noticed that their auto order didn't go through. I want to see if you could help us get that cleared up today. And I get them talking, get it figured out. It's probably an expiration date, or maybe they had an issue. Maybe they had fraud on a card or something like that and put a stop on it. They just didn't get it fixed with USANA. So if they want to get it fixed, you're going to help them get it fixed. Instead of it being a negative situation, you're going to help it be a positive situation. So that's what I would do personally if they had an auto order issue. Again, I would provide my customers with free samples, invite them to an informal, non-salesy type webinar. Maybe it's something like a Dr. Ladd McNamara webinar. There's a lot of great speakers that can add a lot of value for you to your customers and your associates, your prospective customers, that I would suggest that you do. Customer appreciation, just emailing somebody, calling somebody, texting somebody, letting them know you appreciate their business. Jennifer and I did something. We were a couple reasons. We needed some last minute tax write-offs. I love that about Christmas. And so we thought who better to have some expense with than our customers. So we pulled the report from a project leg of our business, couple legs of our business, and pulled up several people and spent a couple $1,000 sending out thank you cards with gift cards. Not even USANA gift cards. We did Amazon gift cards. Just something, not that we just want them to buy more USANA, but just something to say thank you. And here's something on us because we value you as a customer. And so we had customers who had been involved for over 20 years on auto order solid for 20 years. And so we sent all those people who had done that a $50 gift card to Amazon. And people who'd been involved for over a year or two, I forget how Jennifer did it, but we sent out a lot of gift cards for $20, $20 to $50, depending how long they've been on auto order. Just letting them know in a nice little note, just letting them know that we value them as a customer and we appreciate their business and that we're here for them if they ever need anything and we can help them in any way. So a handwritten note with a nice simple message like that, a little gift card. Again, we don't do this all the time, but we just did it this year. But we do a lot of things for our team, just let them know that they're important to us, whether it's recognition or taking them out to dinner or a special time or whatever. So what kind of value, next question, what kind of value can you personally add on the business side of things when you're talking to somebody? And this is important, again, when you're prospecting and they're looking at the business. So if I have somebody that wants to probably do like the 500-point pack, and by the way, if you don't know, we used to have a professional pack that was $1,250. And about 90% of the people that I ever enrolled, if they told me they were serious about the business, that they wanted a lot of, to make a lot of things happen with the business. They had big goals and dreams. So first I found out what they wanted out of the business. And as soon as they told me they wanted to get a lot out of it, I said, let's start the right way. If they wanted to dabble with it and, mainly use the products and maybe recommend a few people, then a one business center or a smaller 3BC may be a fine way to go. But if they told me they want to go fast, I told them here's the best way to go fast. And about 90% of people I ever had a conversation with, whether it was an upline expert on a three-way call or a personal prospect, did a $1,250 3 business center with a pro pack. at the time. So this, this 500 custom order is a no-brainer to me. But I'm going to add value. And when I have somebody who starts with a high pack, I let them know that I can tell you're making a commitment to your business, and I want to make an extra commitment to you as well. So since you're doing that, or if you'll do that 500 point pack, you're telling me that's right for you. And now these are things that you should already be offering and doing with your people anyway. It's just we don't usually promote them. And you might as well promote them and increase the value of them doing this because you're going to do these things anyway, or you should be. So I'm going to let you know that if you're going to start with that pack, I'm going to be available. I'm going to clear my schedule. When you need something, I'm going to make sure I'm available as much as I can possibly be. And I'm going to give you 10 priority 3-way calls when you have somebody you want me to talk to. If you call me right now, and I'll break away right now, and I will talk to that person. If you can schedule a little bit in advance, it's going to even be a little bit better. But I'm going to do 10 priority 3-way calls. I want to do 100 with them. I want them to do that. But why not promote it? I'm going to do a personal business assessment and strategy session with you every month. We're going to evaluate your business and figure out what your next game plan should be. Again, we should be doing that anyway. I'm going to assist you in getting your personal USANA website. This is what Tom and Lori Mulhern do a great job of all the time, and that's where I learn it from them. But when they sit down with a new person, they help them actually set up their website and do it with them. I'm going to do 5 live events for you at the place of your choosing, whether it's your home or a restaurant or my place or whatever. I don't care if it's a health and freedom, a mixer, a spa party, a team training, just a Q&A, barbecue, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do 5 live events with your team when you start with this right pack. Now, I do this all the time too. I tell somebody, if you will obtain Premier Platinum Pacesetter, because I'm going to get matching bonus as their sponsor, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell them I will come and do a road trip if they're out of town. I will fly in or drive in and do a road trip and do some special a Thursday, Friday, Saturday with you and your team and work with you if you'll become Premier Platinum Pacesetter. I might even do like a matching bonus investment or reinvestment type program. So I might let them know that I'll tell you what, you become Premier Platinum Pacesetter, I'm going to get a matching bonus. I already told you how we get paid. One of the 6 ways is matching bonus, but I want to reinvest my matching bonus I earned from you back into you. So I'm going to take 50% or 100% or whatever of the matching bonus I earned for the first year, and I'm going to do it in road trips to come out and support you, or events, or marketing tools, or your registration for you to convention, or whatever I can do to reinvest in important things for you and your business. So I'll tell them that I'm going to do something like that. I do promotions like that all the time. A free welcome kit. USANA does this from time to time, but I can have my own free welcome kit or my own free shipping promotion. So the difference is I can't do this online. I have to call USANA to place this order, but when they tell me the welcome kit's $30, or they tell me shipping was $48 or whatever, I can say, okay, here's my credit card to pay for that portion. And then here's the credit card of the new associate to pay for the difference. Then I'm going to text or let the new person know, you'll see a charge for the full amount. Please know that you'll see a charge on your card only for your amount. I took care of your shipping because of our free shipping promotion this week. So that's what I would do with something like that. So you can do any kind of promotion you want to add value. We wait on USANA too much. I mean, USANA's job is to make the products, ship the products, collect the money from customers, and pay us and our people. That's USANA's job. It's my job to build the business. It's your job to build the business. So we need to promote. We need to add value. All right, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I like it. All right, I've done all kinds of growth incentives. Always promote USANA's incentives, but I've done trips. We've done houseboat excursions. We've done cash. We've done free iPads or other technology at the time. I remember giving Brian Penrod a fax machine back in the early days when we all needed a fax machine. I remember buying him a Mont Blanc pen to have a nice pen because he won incentives in the early days in our team. But do whatever's relevant today. You can. I've even offered a few people vehicles. I've offered, you can do the math, and if it makes sense to do it and you're careful about it, I've offered vehicles before as incentives for people if they really want to make some huge things happen and it's going to have a huge impact on my business. I'll reinvest part of that back into them. Sure, you betcha. I'm just going to do it in a way that's safe for me and safe for them. Good for them. All right. Another thing you can do to add value is give them free access to your personal or your team training system or website. I have my own training system. A lot of leaders have their own training system. Find out what system you're upline. You should know because you should have gone through it. And then offer that as part. This is all during the presentation, by the way. This is all talking about training and support they're going to get, or in picking the right pack. When they're talking about a 1 or maybe a 400.3 business center, why they should be doing a 500.3 business center. You know, if they have more skin in the game, they're going to treat it more seriously as well. So it's a good thing for them. I also start them off. I've got a big chunk of GoPro books up there, audio and regular books, or whatever book, whether it's Think and Grow Rich or Royalty Income or whatever book that your team uses. If you have a book that everybody starts with, make sure you have copies of that and you let them know, I'm going to start you with this now. It's going to take a couple of days at least for them to get their welcome kit and their products from USANA. So you want them doing something productive in those first few days when they're really excited. So give them a book that day when they sign up if you're local with them, or get it in the mail, priority mail it to them, get it over to them right away if you have to. All right. So another thing on value, it's also something that we can set up. We can create, we can do when we do whether it's a 2-on-1 presentation or a 3-way call. So here's how a newer associate would set up a 3-way call if they weren't trained properly or they didn't understand the value. If I was a new associate, and think about this, listen how I do this. If I told you, look, if you'll look at this information, I'm going to call you back a little bit later today to follow up, kind of thing. That's what I'm setting up. So you've committed to look at my presentation, and I say, well, I'm really new and I don't know what to say when I call you back to follow up. So I'm going to have someone else on the phone with me when I call you to talk to you. So that's how a rookie, a untrained rookie would set up a 3-way call. And now here's the deal. There's nothing in it for you as the prospect. That's only in it for me as the new person who's either not gone through the training or not doing it right, or is new and needs some help still. Which is a legitimate deal. But is nothing really in it the way I've promoted it to you as the prospect, nothing in it for you. I want it to be something in it for you, the prospect. And I want them to feel good about it. I want them to know that this is important for them. So I would say something like this. One of the things I love about this company is the mentorship and teamwork that is offered. I partnered with a team of entrepreneurs who have been doing this a lot longer than me, and are having some great success and have much more experience and knowledge on our company, products, and business than I do. Since I'm new and just getting my business off the ground, when I call you back to follow up tonight, I'll have one of them on the phone with me. It's important to me that we explain everything correctly and accurately, answer any questions that you have so that you can make an educated business decision, and they can help me do this a lot better today than I can on my own. This is also one of the ways that I get trained as I'm just getting started. And the best part is that if we decide to work together, you are going to have access to this same mentorship team that I do. So now they know that I'm doing this, that I'm getting trained, and they're going to get trained, and I'm doing this to make sure that they get everything presented accurately, and that we answer their questions accurately so they can make an educated business decision. So that's what's in it for them, and that's a huge deal. And now I'm adding value to that 3-way phone call. And they're going to be more likely to be on there because they understand the value of the person they're going to be on there with. If I know specifically who it's going to be, I'm going to edify that person at that time. It can be somebody who's a long-term leader that's made millions of dollars, or it could be somebody who's just been involved a little bit longer and earning steady checks. And you can promote it the same way. It's all about how you add that value and how you promote it. All right, so it's all about value, value, value. It's about value, folks. And just like any business out there, the more value that you create or that you pass on, that you transfer to somebody else, the more successful you will become in your USANA business. So make sure you pass on the value of this Facebook page to your entire team by getting them plugged in. And make sure you come back and join us Friday for Finish Strong Friday with Alexis. Remember that you don't have to create the value of this page. You just have to be the messenger who transfers the value to others. Just like you don't have to create the value that USANA gives, you just have to be the messenger that conveys that value to somebody else. All right, my challenge to you is to enjoy the rest of your week. Be productive, be consistent, go out there and change some lives by adding some value. Please keep typing in your comments. Again, hopefully that's all working and I only turned it off for myself and not for everybody. Otherwise, we'll have to do a different type of a drawing. So I'll be looking those over and taking care of that drawing. Everybody have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you on Finish Strong Friday.